All right, NIKKE people, this better be good. Boom the Ghost is probably one of the most, if not the most requested songs I've had on the channel for NIKKE in months at this point, so it better be good. I haven't had a bad experience with NIKKE songs. It's not like it's a 50-50 toss-up or anything, but at the same time, when you get so many people demanding that you listen to a song, you start to get a little bit cautious, you know? Like, my hopes are high, I'm concerned that they're too high. And I'm not entirely sure how high that limit is, like where I should cap myself off at, but I've got to listen to this song because so many people wanted me to listen to it. So I suppose without further ado, let's go. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, not where I thought it was gonna go. And I was only saying oh no because I was like, oh, it's gonna be fire. It still might be. But what I was anticipating might have been delayed a little bit. See, this is really cool. Okay. It's a little bit more idle than I thought it was going to be, but that kind of makes sense. It's still really fun. Like, maybe not exactly what I was expecting out of it, but this is the closest thing I was kind of expecting when people were hyping it up. Ooh. Ooh. Leaning into the hook.
I'll show them all I'm not just a pretty face. Nesting inside, I was swagging in a higher place. Two-turns to a speedy dash.
Still really fun. I really like where this is, even if it wasn't exactly what I thought. That was entirely my own expectations. I really like that hook. Getting a little meta with the lyrics there. Wait a minute. Well, what was that? No, go bring that back. Oh, that was just, I wanted them to lean into that once I heard it. It was so close. But I guess that would have forced another halftime break. And there's the end of it. Okay, so definitely really fun. Definitely not unlike what I expected, just a different avenue, a different direction. So I'll explain what I was expecting, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But at the same time, still a really fun song. Now, some of you might hate what I'm going to say here, and that's purely off of my own exhaustion of it. It's starting to feel a little fatiguing, but I'm kind of starting to get tired of the, like, VTuber idol vocal thing, like that really squeaky type of vocals. I don't think it's a bad choice most of the time. I've just heard a lot of it, especially recently, so active brain opinion, it's just a little bit much for me right now. That doesn't mean they performed poorly by any means, and it's nothing personal to this creator. It's just a little bit everywhere right now. It is literally in every single corner of my life at this point, not even on this channel, just in general. So that's kind of part of it. It's like, okay, that's not exactly what I wanted out of it, but I kind of put that to the side and enjoyed the song for what it was. It was still a really good production. I liked a lot of the details they were putting in here. The composition was very, very nice. A lot of the synths they were adding and just a bunch of other stuff in there that I really like, especially that one section where it had like that rap vocal. That was fun. I really liked that approach in there. And that's pretty bog standard for like any of these idol type of songs. They almost always have that these days. And that's fine. Again, it's not necessarily that it's a bad approach. I've just heard it so much that a part of my brain was a little bit disappointed when it came around and I realized what was happening. I was like, okay, you know? But like in the exclusively NIKKE space, like that sound and their approaches to music, that's something I actually haven't heard in a minute. So if I'm looking at it through that microscope, it is actually not that common at all, but just again, in my personal life, that is kind of weighing on my opinion here. Either way though, the way I was expecting it to go was basically a full electronic sort of thing. I thought it was going to have like that halftime. Once that kicked in, I thought more of it was going to lean into that trap side of things and kind of have more of this EDM bounciness to it, especially because a lot of people were saying it was like summer bangery. Like that was a comment I kept seeing around. It was like very summertime banger. And I'm like, okay, that to me does not equate this, you know, like this is fun. It's poppy. It's exactly what you would expect out of a VTuber pop synth song. That's all fine and good. I don't count that in my personal brain as like summer banger, but that's also probably because I'm kind of stuck in the early 2010s vibe of like big EDM house shows and having that sound. Groups like Cruella and Calvin Harris and, you know, like Porter Robinson even might fit in there. It's just that sound is kind of more what to me equates a summer banger. And to a lot of other people, that's Chapel Roan, which is, again, perfectly fine. Everyone's kind of got their different expectations of that. And it doesn't really change my opinion of the overall production of the song either. Again, that's just me. A lot of this, obviously, just being my opinions is gonna be just that. But there were a lot of fun things in this production. Like, for example, I loved the bass in this song. The bass line for this track, phenomenal. It's just a really catchy bass line and it supports everything just as a bass line should, especially in that main hook section. I love that. Also in that latter spot, that like last refrain, the bridge into that where I was like, ooh, they're about to do something. I thought that because they introduced a new element to that break, which was that like marching snare. And I was like, ooh, wait a minute. They're going to be doing like maybe a full breakdown here, which honestly would have probably brought me back around a little bit to have that. But once I realized how long I had been listening, I was like, oh, they're not going to do that. It's probably the last time that we're going to hear this and it's not going to be changing it up now. That's something that would have fit better for like that rap section, for example, that would have taken the place of that had they done it instead of what they ended up doing. But for that specific section, I would have expected like basically an EDM dubstep sort of like breakaway where it's just all instrumental and it's basically the producer having a little bit of fun with it. They kind of did that with the overall trap aesthetic in there, I think. I think that trap section's probably where the producer had the most fun. You could just kind of tell when a producer's like, hell yeah, that you know, this, ooh, like you could just kind of catch their vibe when they really enjoy making a section of a song, be that the hook or the chorus, whatever it happens to be. It could even be the verses sometimes. It really just depends. But a lot of times you can tell what part of the song the producer and the creator of the song really is proud of and has the most fun with. So I think that was the section, and maybe even just adding that little bit for that last bridge there was kind of like a last hurrah for that cool little riff we had there. So it's just, ooh, I really like the overall track here. I think some of the aspects of the sound design was nice too, like adding to that spooky vibe by having harpsichord in here, using that was a nice choice. Having the like bells in there as well, just another little accentual thing that almost bridges the gap between that haunting sound and the like idle pop sound. So a lot of really good choices here. It just, because everybody was hyping this up and saying like, you're gonna love this, I was putting that in my own category, and I should have put that into the category of who would be the demographic for this song. And while I do like it, and I would kind of count myself as the demographic for this song most times, I think people hyped it up so much that I added extra layers to the hype cake, and it just kind of ended up being, yeah, it's like solid. You know, like I don't think it's bad, but I think people were expecting it to be like a 9 or a 10, and I would probably say like a 7 or an 8. Overall, good, but I feel like, especially if I wasn't having that fatigue recently, just in my personal experience, it probably would have been closer to a 9, but there were a lot of aspects about it that made it fun to listen to, so you know what, I gotta give it props for that as well. Let's give it like a high 8. I don't know why I'm rating things now. When did I start doing that? I realized this like yesterday. I was doing a video and I gave something like a 7 or something, and I was like, what am I doing? And I'm doing it again. I don't know why I'm doing that. It's not something that I want to be a mainstay on the channel. It's just where my brain goes now. I guess number go up, make brain go burr. I don't know. Either way, my brain's obviously a little everywhere right now, so hopefully that doesn't detract from my opinions here or what you think of the song either, because it is a good track. But if you listen to this whole thing, hopefully my reasonings make sense to you. And if you have another song you want me to get to from NIKKE, by all means, leave it in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that and you just enjoyed this video and you want to follow me and support me for some more spicy takes in the future, you know how to do all that, and I will see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!